will come, Ray. The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. Now the 2-1. Line drive to the base hit. Justice has scored the tying run. Green to the plate. And he is safe. Safe at the plate. The Braves go to the World Series.
Have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines that sat when they were children and cheered their heroes.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable!
A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead by a score of 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Ford Field to win the 1960 World Series.
They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past.
The Pope arrived at Yankee Stadium. As one enthusiastic announcer put it, he is standing on second base.
Reggie Jackson. Long drive right field. It is goodbye. Big World Series.
The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run.
Back and throw. There's a left back. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant.
The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
The memories will be so thick that I can brush them from their faces.
The 1-0 delivery to Fisk. He swings long drive left field. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run. The Red Sox win. And the series is...
Lolich fires. Ball is hit high in the air. This should be the series. Freehand waving everybody away in foul territory. Detroit wins.
Here's the pitch to Willie. There's a liner straight to Richardson. The ball game is over and the World Series is over. Willie McCovey hit it like a bullet. A line drive right.
Baseball to mark the time.
The Oakland A's take.
I'll tell you what, we're having an earth.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Candlestick Park for Game 3 of the 1989 World Series.
It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
Frank Robinson, the right-hand batter.
Long drive to left field. Way back. This is goodbye. Home run.
Base hit loaded, 1 out. Pena in a jam. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it.
Ozzie with 1 out. Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run. And the
Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
Broadcasted live.
Who wants to have some fun?
There are balls coming from all over the place. Left field, center field, right field. See, this is the kind of thing, quite honestly, right now, that makes you want to see the Chicago Cubs team lose.
Now, you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun?
It'll be fun.
Will the next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, or get them out of here? You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
That is the farthest thing in the universe from the truth.
Hello, everyone, live. It's the Dan Scott Show. And right there is your host, Dan Scott.
All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Monday. Welcome to today's edition of the Dan Scott Show. And more importantly, for many, many, many people in this part of the country and really all around the country, welcome to game week. Week one of the college football season is up on us, and we are going to be doing everything we can to get you prepared from a Furman standpoint, from a Southern Conference standpoint, and obviously even much further beyond that. How was your weekend? Thank you for indulging my need to be off on Friday. Had a good time down in Charleston with my family, and got a chance to kind of recharge the batteries a little bit for the first time really all summer long, and really enjoyed that opportunity. So we're back, ready to roll, and a full week of stuff coming at you here on the program. This is what I need from you as listeners and viewers. I'm still in total radio mode, but what we're doing here is more video now than it is radio, at least for the moment. But this is what I need from you. I need you to help me spread the word about the show, and especially about the new website. I need you to share it on your timelines. I need you to tweet it. I need you to tell people about it. The new website is thedanscottshow.com. You see it right there at the top of the screen, thedanscottshow.com. That is going to be the, as Dave Glenn likes to say, Grand Central Station for everything that we do moving forward. Still in its infancy right now. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to be meeting with Randy at Carolina Creative as kind of a 30-day recap of where we are since the launch and what our strategy is going to be moving forward. But I need you to help me drive traffic there. And eventually, as I said, we're going to be taking all of the viewing options that we have now and filtering all of them directly to the website. So eventually the Facebook is going to go away, the Twitter is going to go away, and everything will be focused to thedanscottshow.com. So I need you to get accustomed to going there, checking that out, start watching the show from there now. I mean, it's not something that's going to happen tomorrow, but ultimately it is going to happen. But more than anything else, you guys have been just so incredibly loyal to me. There are some of you who have been part of what I've done going all the way back to the earliest days of the old show over in Clemson. Some of you are more new converts, for lack of a better phrase. But bottom line is, I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you. And we need to grow this thing. We need people to see that, hey, there's something special going on here. If you're a Furman fan, it's something that you can get every single day that you can't get anywhere else about your Paladins. If you're not a Furman fan, well, we've got plenty of stuff out there for you as well on a day-to-day and a week-to-week basis. Just thinking, out loud, Dave Glenn is back with us again. He'll be back with us on Wednesday of this week. We'll be tuning up with our good friend Billy Davis. We always look at the Furman opponent. So to that end, on Thursday of this week, Larry Williams from TigerIllustrated.com is going to be joining us and via phone to kind of preview the season opening matchup from a Clemson perspective, looking at Furman. So there are a lot of things that we offer to you. I need your help in getting the word out about the new website. So please, in your social media, in your conversations, tell people, hey, go check this out, because there are some things there really for everybody. If you just go to the resource page, just the resource page alone, what you're going to find there is enough to keep you busy really for hours on end if you were so predisposed to do so. But full information, including websites on every Division I college in the state of South Carolina. You just click on that school's name and it will take you to a full information page, and that page will include the link to the athletic department website. We have a list of what I call Dan's favorites, some of the places that I enjoy going on the web, and some of my quote-unquote home teams from my home state of West Virginia and Cincinnati and those type of things. And then we have a list of just some really good tools for national websites. And look, if there's something you'd like added to the resource page, all you have to do is let us know, and we'll get that added in there. Our desire is to get you accustomed to going to that website and using that as your jumping off point to get to other places, to watch the show, to go to the resource page. As we start to accumulate more interviews and highlights that we'll put on that page, you'll be able to go out there and check out things from that standpoint as well. It is going to become a very, very busy one-stop shop for everything that we do here, and I need you to help me get people going there. More people means better opportunities for those who are advertising with us, and it means better numbers all across the board when it comes to clicks and all those things that I really don't understand a whole lot about. All I know is we need a lot of traffic there. We're trying to make it worth your while to get there. I'm not asking you to go someplace just for the sake of going and not really find anything there. And once you spend some time on it, drop me an email. The email address is dan@thedanscottshow.com. And let me know what you think, and be honest about it. And we will take all of those into consideration. And we're always looking to improve and make some tweaks and do whatever we can to make this thing as streamlined and as effective as we possibly can. So I'm asking for your help. Share the website on your social media. Help us get this thing to the people. Help us get people accustomed to coming here. Help us to get people to know that we're here with the new website, and then we will do our part by trying to continue to upgrade the content and give you more and more reasons to keep coming back. TheDanScottShow.com. It's there again on top of your screen, and we look forward to having you come and visit us and spending some time there and continuing to interact with you more than we ever have before. All right, coming up on the show today, because I was out on Friday, we're going to double up on our SoCon previews. Today we'll check in with both Western Carolina and East Tennessee State University. We'll also give you a full look at the schedule upcoming this week involving Southern Conference teams, and that includes a pair of games on Thursday. And again, a look at what is coming up the rest of the week as we start marching towards Saturday's season opener for the Paladins over at Death Valley. So we got a lot to get to, and we look forward to having you on board with us. When we come back, our first order of business will be a quick look at the schedule, and then we'll get into the Western Carolina preview from the SoCon Digital Network. First, before we do any of that, just need to remind you that the show is brought to you by Carolina Creative. Our friends there, my good friend Randy Looper and his staff are the ones who designed our brand new website and are helping with the marketing and branding and everything that goes along with it. So we are just so appreciative for the work that they've done. And listen, they work with so many of the heavy hitters in Greenville and the upstate and beyond. I'm really honored that they've chosen to work with us as well. But that's how Randy is. I mean, if he can help your business, he's going to help your business. And there are so many ways they do it through not just websites, but marketing, brand strategy, and development, all of those things. You need to just hop on their website, carolinacreative.co, and find out what they can do there. Or you can call Randy at 250-2012, 250-2012. Carolina Creative, not just simple, simply brilliant, and they bring you the Dan Scott Show on a daily basis. Also, before I forget, you see these right here? Those are tickets to see the Marshall Tucker Band on Thursday at the TD stage right outside the Peace Center in downtown Greenville. We're giving those away at the end of the program today. and that's the final drawing in this first set of 5 consecutive weeks of giveaways to help with the launch of the new website. Marshall Tucker Band tickets will be given away at the end of today's show. All right, to break we go. We'll come back, and we will continue with more on this edition of the Dan Scott Show right after this quick word from Custom Corners Frame Shop and more. Don't go away.
If you're looking for the perfect frame for that special photo or painting, Custom Corners Frame Shop in Seneca can deliver for you. Family owned for nearly 4 decades, Trevor and the folks at Custom Corners Frame Shop pride themselves on quality, presentation, and professionalism. They offer picture framing for every budget, and every job is custom. Custom Corners Frame Shop also sells work from local artists as well as locally themed gifts. For more information, visit them at 289 Market Street in Seneca. Call 864-882-7736 or find them on Facebook, Custom Corners Frame Shop in Seneca.
Dan Scott here for the Atlanta Bread Company. What do I like about Atlanta Bread? Well, too much to mention in a short commercial, but here are a few things. Bread baked daily fresh on site, a tremendous selection of soup, sandwiches, and salads, seasonal special additions to the menu, delicious hot coffee, and a bevy of other drink options. And yeah, can't forget about the baked sweet goodies. Dine in or carry out, and when you have the Atlanta Bread Company app, you can order and pay online, then breeze past the lines to the pickup counter to get your food. Experience it for yourself. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville.
When you go in search of a fence company, what's your criteria? Experience? Trust? A company that gets it right the first time and stands behind its work? Then your search is over. Faulkner Fence has been Greenville's fence company for more than 40 years. Ed Faulkner started the business, and now son Todd continues the tradition of excellence. So regardless of your fencing needs, commercial, industrial, or residential, trust the company that Greenville has trusted for over 4 decades. Faulkner Fence, 864-271-4626 or online at faulknerfencecompany.com.
Hey everybody, Dan Scott here, and I want to tell you about my technology partner, Carolina Creative Group. When my show needed a creative technology boost, I turned to Carolina Creative Group. My custom design website is going to take marketing as well as brand strategy and development to new levels. The search engine optimization means that my clients' ads will be seen by more people more often. And if I have any questions, Carolina Creative Group is just a phone call away. Friends, that is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. You can find out all the ways that Carolina Creative Group can help your business by simply calling 864-250-2012. Again, that's 864-250-2012, or simply visit them online at carolinacreative.co. Carolina Creative Group, technology partner of the Dan Scott Show. All right, welcome back to the program. It is the Monday edition of the show. It is 10:18 in the morning, and we're happy to have you with us. As we welcome you back, there I am. Hello. As we welcome you back, I'm going to go away again immediately so I can tell you about my friends at Security Complete. I've been telling you for a while now that I switched the protection of my home and family to Security Complete, and I can tell you I have been very, very happy with those results. They're locally owned with more than 40 years experience in the industry, and Security Complete uses nothing but the latest technology, which equals low overhead, which in turn equals greater savings to you, the customer. Fully automated systems with monitoring rates much lower than the competition. Security Complete gives you all this, and here's the kicker. They do not require a contract of any length. Find out more by calling the number you see on the screen there, 546-0360, or you can find them on Facebook and Twitter. Security Complete, they are my first line of defense. Let's make them yours today. All right, as we have reached game week, by the way, did you know that there are some football games that are going to be played that actually count beginning this week on the college scene? Yeah, well, in the Southern Conference, here's what the schedule looks like. It opens up with a pair of games on Thursday night. Tennessee Tech will visit Chattanooga, and the Samford Bulldogs, who are the preseason favorite in this league, will entertain Shorter. Those games 7 and 7:30 p.m. respectively. And then on Saturday, just one day game, and that is Furman at Clemson, the 12:20 kickoff. And then everything else is at night. Western Carolina entertaining Newberry at 6 p.m. Open up with a conference matchup, the Citadel at Wofford at 6 p.m. So Josh Conklin's first game as a Citadel head coach is going to be a SoCon matchup. VMI is at Toledo at 7 p.m., Mercer on the road at Memphis at 7 o'clock, and Randy Sanders' first game as the ETSU head coach will be at home against Mars Hill at 7:30. So that's your upcoming Southern Conference schedule for Week 1, and obviously we're going to be spending a lot more time talking about those games as we move forward this week. As I mentioned, we are a little bit behind the 8 ball because we're out on Friday, so we're going to double up on the Southern Conference previews for today, and we're going to begin by going just up the road a piece, as they used to say, to Cullowhee, North Carolina, and visit with our friends at Western Carolina University. My buddy Daniel Hooker sitting down with head coach Mark Spear and talking about the Catamounts' upcoming 2018 season. Here from the SoCon Digital Network is the Western Carolina preview. Check it out.
Hello from Cullowhee, North Carolina, the Southern Conference 2018 football preview as we check in with the Western Carolina Catamounts. I'm Daniel Hooker from the Catamount Sports Network, joined by Western Carolina head football coach Mark Spear. And Coach, 2-9 back in 2016. You back it up with a 7-5 year in 2017, your third 7-win season in the last 4 years. You move back into the national rankings. You're back in that conversation for the postseason playoffs at FCS. What's your mindset from those years coming in here to 2018?
Well, we're really excited about 2018. You know, the one thing I was proud of this football team is as we did all our post-season interviews and talks with our players, that 7-win season, in 2014 and 15 was celebrated, and it was looked down on by our football team, coming off the 2017 because we knew we had so much more. We felt like we were a Southern Conference true contender. We felt like we were a true playoff contender, and at the end of the season, we just didn't get it done. We ran out of gas. We had a lot of injuries, and that falls right into one guy's lap, and that's mine, because that's every head coach's responsibility, is to get his team to the end of the season as fresh and healthy. And, I didn't do a good job of that last year. We were a really beat up, banged up team. And, that's why I'm excited about 2018, because I'm going to do a much better job of that.
Coach, looking on the offensive side of the ball, two of those key components of that 7-win season, really a big part of your program the last 4 years have gone. Your leading receiver in Terrion Robinson, and also your leading rusher in Detrez Newsome. But you got one of the key cogs in that machine back, and you talk about Tyree Adams, your quarterback, and now you got an offensive line that's received a lot of preseason press.
Well, I'm really excited about our offense. I feel like we can be as good or better than we've ever been. You lose two great players in Detrez and Terrion, as you said. But, Terrion was hurt some last year, and Detrez missed 3 games, and we kept rolling. And the thing I'm really excited about, as you mentioned, is we have 6 senior offensive linemen. Grady Thomas, who's a sophomore that we feel like can be one of the best linemen in this conference, all coming back. And with Tyree, you always sometimes we don't know what's getting ready to happen, but he's been very productive for us on the preseason Walter Payton watch list. But I guess the biggest thing I'm excited about is the emergence of Will Jones, our backup quarterback. He had a great spring, and for the first time in a while, our football team really feels like, hey, if Tyree Adams goes down, we got a quarterback that we're not going to really slow down.
As good as you were on offense a season ago, perhaps the turning point for that team was the play of the defensive unit. Now, a lot of those guys that were in that room, the upperclassmen that helped make that possible in 2017 are gone, but what are you looking at defensively? Starting with Marvin Tillman in the back end, but what are you looking at there defensively?
Well, starting with defensively, I always start with preseason All-American Ian Berryman, our punter. He's a guy that if the offense is forced to punt from anywhere on the field backed up, Ian's got a NFL leg that gives our defense great field position to start with. And then, as you mentioned, we got a guy like Marvin Tillman that's on the preseason Buck Buchanan list. And, we've got a few guys coming back with experience, but the new faces that the Catamount Nation is going to see, I'm really excited about. I mean, they are athletic, they're fast, they're eager, they're hungry, and that's kind of fun, too, that it's a group that's not going to be complacent. They're excited about it being their turn. They had a great spring. All they're lacking on defense is experience, and that's a lot. When you lose a guy like Daniel Riddle who has 44 games of experience, that's a lot. But they're talented young men. Our job as coaches is to grow them up in a hurry. And so that's what we did this past spring and got to do in this preseason.
Much more to come from Cullowhee, North Carolina, as we continue our preview of the Western Carolina Catamounts here in 2018 for the Southern Conference. Welcome back to Cullowhee, North Carolina, as we continue our conversation, the preseason look at the Western Carolina Catamounts here in 2018. Joined as promised by a couple of Catamount seniors, Zach Weeks from the offensive line, and of course Marvin Tillman from the defensive secondary. We'll start with Zach and talk about it. An offensive line unit that has played together for several years now. You got 3 guys on that preseason all-conference team. You named a preseason All-America. What is it like now playing with those guys, having been there in the trenches with them for several years, and now getting some of those preseason accolades?
And it's awesome, the accolades. And as an O-line, we're not used to that. We're used to blocking for people and getting them the accolades. So I think it's pretty cool. And having guys I've played with for nearly 5 years, which is unreal. We've been through it all together. So, having us all together as a group, I think it creates camaraderie for all of us. And I think it will lead to success this year, honestly.
Obviously, offensively, you've got a dynamic quarterback. You've got a bevy of running backs that you like blocking for. 3 consecutive seasons, Detrez Newsome rushing for over 1,000 yards. Got to think you guys had a big part to play in that. But what's it like playing in that offense with a guy like Tyree Adams behind you, a guy that can be anywhere at any time in that backfield?
It's awesome because, you're blocking for a guy that can take it to the house at any time. So, your block could be the block to set him free. Tyree's unbelievable. I've watched him every game at least one time. I thought, how did he get out of that, gain 15 yards? Blocking for a guy like Tyree, it makes our job fun and it makes the game fun for the fans.
Well, let's talk about that offensive line and let's talk about that offensive unit. You guys play extremely fast. We're trying to get 3 or 4 plays off in the course of a minute of clock time. What's it like trying to get up and get ready? Talk about the offense and that tempo that Brad Glenn's offense brings.
We try to go as fast as possible. It's controlled chaos, kind of, I guess you'd call it. But I'm used to it now. But when you're tired and we're used to it, that defense can be even more tired. And we train all year for that type of stuff. So it's hard, but once you get used to it, it becomes enjoyable. You're watching the defensive lineman in front tap their head and say, "Get me out, get me out." And I'm standing there, I'm like, I'm tired, but I ain't that tired. So.
And we'll have to ask Marvin Tillman about what it's like going against that in practice every day. But you as an individual, what's one thing you've looked at from last season to this season, coming into your final season in Cullowhee? What's one area you want to make an improvement?
Probably just consistency, just being able to block successfully as much as possible. I want to be the guy to depend on. Like in the film room, you just watch him. He's doing it right. I want to be the guy that everyone leans on.
So we mentioned the defense having to go against that offensive line and that up-tempo. Marvin, as a defender, what's it like having to go up against the Brad Glenn offense in practice, trying to get them ready for game days?
Well, it's definitely tough. You learn a lot quick. You learn to think on a dime a lot of times because it's coming so fast. You don't really have time to think. It just have to be natural. And it really prepares you for a lot of in-game situations because if you're going hard all the time in practice. When it's in the game, it's just natural.
Well, let's talk about that defensive unit, a defense that, as good as the offense was a season ago, probably was the defense that helped get the Catamounts to that 7 wins, the improvements you guys made on that side of the football. Now, let's talk about that room. It's a lot different looking right now. A lot of the upperclassmen that were a part of last year's success have graduated. Now you're one of the old men in the room, as it were. What's it like being one of the upperclassmen on that defense?
Being an upperclassman, you definitely got to get the freshmen on board, or the younger guys, or guys who really just haven't played. It's more of a leadership role. You already know what the coaches really expect. You just got to get others to come along with the process. So.
Talking about some of the preseason accolades being heaped your way as well. Preseason All-Conference, preseason All-America, and then, of course, named to the Buck Buchanan watch list. What did you think when you saw that come across the news wire that you were named among one of the top 25 preseason defenders going up for one of the top, probably the defensive Heisman Trophy when you talk about the Buck Buchanan?
Well, one thing I thought is they already expecting something, so I got to go ahead and give them something to watch for. But it's exciting. I mean, it gives you a lot to play for, and I wouldn't say pressure, but it definitely something to think about while you're out there on the field.
What's it like playing at home in Cullowhee? How important is a big crowd in Cullowhee at Whitmire Stadium? How important is that for both of you going into your senior year?
It's very important to me. Playing here in Cullowhee is probably one of the funnest places to play in the FCS. I mean, you're going to have a crowd of at least 10,000 every game, 10 to whatever, 14,000. I mean, we have a student section that like to have fun. I mean, we have the greatest band in the land, I guess they'd say, and I mean, it's an actual environment you want to play football in. I mean, you don't want to go into some place and have to, the coach will say, bring your own environment. You're going to have to pump yourself up. I mean, here, you have the fans there that want you to do well, and when you make a play, you're going to hear it. So, I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting running out of the tunnel and hearing all the fans, seeing them just excited for Catamount football. I mean, it gives us a lot to play for, and they've been there so long through the cold days, snow, rain, whatever it is, they're there, so it's exciting.
All right, that was our look at Western Carolina, courtesy of the SoCon Digital Network. In a moment after the break, we'll come back and catch you up with ETSU, first-year head coach Randy Sanders and his squad there. Before we do that, however, where am I going here? Where's my producer when I need him? We are going to talk about the Atlanta Bread Company because I really like Atlanta bread. How about that? Really, it's too much to say in just a short commercial, but how about the bread that's baked fresh daily on site? They have a tremendous selection of soups, sandwiches, and salads, seasonal drink additions to the menu, or special additions to the menu, drinks like hot coffee and other options. And even though I have to stay away from that particular case right now, the baked sweet goodies, you can go enjoy it, dine in or carry out. And here's the thing. When you have the Atlanta Bread Company app, you can place your order, pay online, and then you just go walk through the front doors, go by the counter where people are ordering, just go directly to the pickup window, and your food will be there waiting on you. That's the Atlanta Bread Company. Experience it for yourself. Cherrydale Point in Greenville, just up the road from campus. Please tell them that you heard about them here on the Dan Scott Show. All right, when we come back, as mentioned, it'll be the SoCon Digital Network's ETSU previews. We continue taking you through every team in the Southern Conference and doubling up today because we missed on Friday. That and much more, including the giveaway of the tickets to see the Marshall Tucker Band on Thursday at the TD Stage, downtown Greenville. All that and more coming up as we return. But first, a word from, among others, our friends at Premier Auto Motivations.
Looking for a great car, but your credit needs work? Premier Auto Motivations is a professional referral service motivated to help you drive a car you love while rebuilding your credit. Late model cars of all kinds. Premier Auto Motivations can get you on the road and your credit on the road to recovery today. Serving all of upstate South Carolina, it's Premier Auto Motivations. Call Sherry today at 864-722-3785 or email cricketgravely@gmail.com.
For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant more life-changing wishes. Visit Make-A-Wish online now. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
When you're looking for the home of a lifetime, you need a realtor you can trust. With more than 27 years experience selling real estate, Gel Sartain is the choice to help the discriminating buyer find the home of their dreams. Licensed in both South Carolina and Georgia, Gel specializes in homes on beautiful lakes Hartwell and Kiwi, as well as the surrounding areas, and has a wealth of experience working with people with technical backgrounds. Now is the time to buy, sell, and invest in real estate in the Clemson-Seneca area. Let Gail help you realize that dream today. Call her at 404-317-3171. That's Gail Sartain, a member of the National Association of Realtors.
Let me tell you something, Cowboy. This rookie can really bring the heat.
He's smoky and spicy with a Chipotle style all his own.
It's a new Montgomery Inn Chipotle barbecue sauce. Make it a part of your home team.
Available now at your neighborhood grocer or online at CincyFavorites.com.
All right, we are back and rocking and rolling here on a Monday. Kind of busy, but that's the way we like it. Let's see, what do we have moving forward? As we go on through the week, among other things, we will have visits from Andrew Burr, the women's soccer coach, hopefully Doug Allison, the men's soccer coach. Did you see where the men's soccer team here at Furman opened up its 2018 campaign by going to Columbus, Ohio, and knocking off Ohio State 2-0? Yeah, it was big-time stuff. Turned around the next game and lost to Dayton 1-0. But, man, that was a big, big win to open the season. So we're going to hopefully catch up with Doug. Dave Glenn on Wednesday. On Thursday, it is Larry Williams from TigerIllustrated.com who will be joining us to talk about the Furman-Clemson game from the Clemson perspective. And, you know, there are some storylines here that bear following, not only the Harris Roberts story here from a Furman perspective, but also don't forget that Furman has a starting cornerback by the name of Amir Trapp, who last year was a member of the Clemson Tigers. He transferred to Furman and is going to be the starting corner and the starting punt returner, at least on the early depth chart that was released late last week by head coach Clay Hendricks. So there are some storylines to watch here. The other thing, speaking of Harris Roberts, and we've talked about this story. If you haven't seen it, you know he is a Furman grad. He's a senior quarterback who wants to be an engineer. Furman does not have an engineering major, so he got his pre-engineering stuff in here and is part of a cooperative program that allows him to enroll at Clemson to get his degree in engineering while continuing to play football at Furman University. So in effect, Harris Roberts is a Clemson student who's going to be playing quarterback for Furman. And the story, as we told you, has just gone viral, and up to the point where there have been, as Mike Buddy told us week before last, there have been engineering companies call wanting to set up interviews with Harris Roberts looking at jobs for him once he finishes his degree, and it has gone crazy. Well, you can now add another level to the craziness of that story. This week, ESPN's College Game Day is going to be on campus spending a couple of days here, and in the preview of their Furman-Clemson game segment, part of that is going to be a story on this Harris Roberts starting for Furman but being a Clemson student situation. So the Paladins are going to be getting quite a bit of airtime, and the little birdie tells me that somebody might be getting a little voice time on a couple of highlights that they may show of Harris Roberts if everything works out right. Maybe. We don't know that for sure, but the highlights have been requested. I can just tell you that. But I can't wait. It's going to be great publicity for Furman. It's a great story, and we'll see how it plays out on College Game Day. All right, as mentioned, we continue with a SoCon preview. Doubling up today because we missed on Friday. So after Western Carolina before the break, let's check in with the folks at East Tennessee State University. They have a brand new head coach in Randy Sanders taking over for the retired Carl Torbush. Here is the ETSU preview from the SoCon Digital Network.
it's been a fun journey. You know, I got into coaching because I loved the game. Was fortunate to do it at the University of Tennessee for a pretty good while. Had 7 great years at University of Kentucky with Coach Brooks and with Joker Phillips. Really enjoyed my time there. Then obviously 5 years at Florida State and national championship and a lot of wins. You know, anytime you get a chance to win 29 in a row, that's a pretty good stop. Been fortunate enough to be around some Heisman Trophy winners, a lot of All-Americans, but you know, the opportunity to come back to East Tennessee, to get back to this area, and obviously to get to this university, and it really meant a lot. I was excited about the opportunity. There weren't that many places at this stage of my career that I was excited about coaching at or going to try to be a head coach at, but this was one of them, and when the opportunity came up, it was way too good to pass up. My wife was probably more excited than I was when it all first happened, and then when it looked like it could actually become a reality that we could come here, be the head coach, represent this university, and move back home. I can't tell you how excited we each were. Well, I think we have a lot of really quality people, a lot of good young men. We've got a lot of guys that want to be good. They have a big desire. You know, we've got a group of fifth-year seniors that came here on a dream, on a promise. You know, and they actually practiced for a year or two before they ever got to go on the field and play a game. I tell them all the time, you know, football's a game. We enjoy playing. Practice is work. Games are what's fun. You know, you try to make practice as fun as you can while still getting your work done. But, you know, to come here and be willing to practice for 2 years before you actually get to go out there and play a game, I think they take a lot of pride in trying to build this university and this program into a proven winner. You know, so I got a lot of guys that want to do the right things. They want to do well. Coach Torbush and the staff before did a great job of getting things started, but we got to build on it. We still got plenty to do. I got a good basis of players that want to do the right thing. I have some really good leadership. I have a good mix of older leaders and younger leaders, and I'm excited about what the future holds. You know, we've got work to do, but we have a good future. Southern Conference obviously has always stood for excellence, and you know, the number of championships that's been won, the number of teams that go to the playoffs. We've got to work hard to carve out our niche. It reminds me a lot when I was at Tennessee or Kentucky. I played in the Southeastern Conference, and every week you had to come ready to play, or you were going to go home with your tail tucked between your legs. And the way I see this conference, it's the same way. If we don't come to play every week, it's going to be a tough road to hoe. Well, there's a lot of excitement, no question, and it's amazing how many fans we have out there that are ETSU fans, but they're also Tennessee fans. They pull for both of us, and there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of energy surrounding it. You know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun for our guys to go to Knoxville, go to Neyland Stadium, run out on that field in front of 90,000 people. I hope I can get them focused on the game and not standing around looking at the crowd and are paying too much attention to how loud it is or how many people are in the stands. We got to focus on the task at hand. But what a great experience. You know, these guys we were talking about came here 5 years ago, didn't get to play for a while. Now they get to go play at Neyland Stadium. I think they'll have a good time with it, and we expect to go down there and represent ourselves well. I want a team that's going to play hard. We're going to give great effort. I want a team that's going to play with class. I want a team that's going to represent the university the right way. We want to be fun. We want to play with energy. We want to have some enthusiasm. You know, football's it's a game of emotion, and we want to play with emotion, but we got to always keep our emotions in check. And you know, hopefully we'll be exciting on offense. We'll be able to stop people on defense, be smart in the kicking game, and do all those things. If we do that, we'll be good. You ask me what I want. That's what I want. Hopefully that's what we get. But we are going to play hard. We are going to play with class, and we're going to represent the university the right way.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely been a journey for sure. I can remember when we would practice and we wouldn't have even film to watch, and we barely had enough footballs to run practice. And you know, to see where we've came from has been really a neat experience. See the guys who've came through the program, the different coaches we've had. You know, that first season was really difficult. I think a lot of us came from, you know, high school programs, and the football that we played most of our lives, we'd been on winning teams. And so then to go 2-9 and play some games where you just got obliterated. That was an interesting experience. And then those 2 wins were just so exciting because we got our first taste of what it felt like to win in college football. And then heading into that second season, we actually came out there and beat Kennesaw State, our first, FCS opponent victory. And so we were all on top of the world after that. And then we go into Bristol and we beat Western Carolina. And I can remember after that game thinking, well, we're going to run the table. We're going to, probably go win the national title now. And then I think the next 4 weeks we got outscored like 150-21. So we got off that mountaintop pretty quick, but then we rallied back and beat Sanford at the end of the season, like you said. And I think that gave us a lot of confidence going into last season and opening up the new stadium. And so starting off last year, I think we all felt finally that we really belonged in the SoCon and that we could make some noise. And we didn't make as much noise as I think we would have liked to, but I think that, overall the conference looking at us can say like, hey, ETSU is definitely a formidable opponent, and if we don't bring our A game, then we could get beat.
Well, I feel like on defense, it was cool for us to come out third on top of the whole season because we feel like there were a lot of games where we didn't play as well as we should have, and we left a lot out there. So just to know that we had the bad games that we had and we still came out third, it just shows that like we can get there. We can be on top if everyone stays on the same page, if everyone works to get there.
Coach Torbush and Coach O'Kane were, 2 great men and 2 great coaches that I'll always admire. But when we brought in Coach Sanders, I was really excited because, like I said, I grew up, following Tennessee football, and I'd known about him and his success and all that. So when we got him, I was really excited. I did not realize how much work it would be to learn his offense, but I think that's what makes it so good. With our offense now, we have answers to almost anything. I think schematically, this is one of the best offenses you can run. So I think as an offense, we'll be put in some really good situations this year to make plays, and it's just up to us to execute and, fundamentally be sound.
It just feels there's a lot more competitive now. Like it's just everyone seems more excited to be out there and go out there and practice and just try and get better each day. Like it's like the way we practice now, it just seems a lot more. It's just a lot more competitive. Everyone seems to be like getting after it a lot more. There's a lot more on the line. It's like an evaluation every single day, and that's cool. That's what everyone needs. Everyone needs to be pushed every single day. And if you're not being pushed, and if you're not pushing yourself, then you're not getting better.
Man, I grew up in Cleveland, Tennessee, which is about an hour and a half away from Knoxville, and I can remember going to games there as a kid, and so I think I can speak for most of the senior class that this is a really neat experience for us. Something we certainly look forward to since we found out. So I think this is the kind of the final chapter in our program, saying like, hey, we're officially here. We're playing FBS opponents, doing what FCS schools should do, things like that. And so us going up there and competing with those guys and leaving it all out there in the field, I think is something we all look forward to.
All right, so there's your preview of ETSU, and tomorrow we will continue. I think Chattanooga will be up next, and we'll continue rolling along with somebody. I think we've already done Chattanooga. But anyway, somebody will be next tomorrow on our previews. Hey, one of the things I did not mention coming up starting next week, normally it will be on Mondays, but next week, because Monday is Labor Day and we're taking the show off anyway, so it'll be Tuesday of next week. But at the beginning of every week, Don Clardy is going to be with us. He is a financial advisor now, but he's also a member of the 1988 national championship team here at Furman. He was a sophomore wide receiver on that team and has done some things over the years with the Furman Sports Network. So Don is going to be joining us every week, not only to give some analysis of the game that just happened involving Clay Hendricks' team, but also we're going to be taking the 1988 schedule game by game each week and getting Don's recollections of that 1988 championship season, one game, 1 week at a time. We're going to do that over the course of the entire football season. Some days he'll be in studio with us, which I think he will be on Tuesdays, and some days he'll be with us via phone. But again, it's Tuesday of next week, and then after that, it'll be on Monday mornings at 10:15, right at the top of the program, and I'm very much looking forward to that. You know, around here, the celebration of the 30-year anniversary of the 88 championship team has launched a hashtag that is going to be used all athletic season long here at Furman, and that's hashtag Diamonds Are Forever. 30-year anniversary is a diamond anniversary. Diamonds are forever. So we're going to do our part to kind of recapture some of that glory and talk to Don Clardy on a week-by-week, game-by-game basis, looking at not only what happened with this year's Furman team, but also going through the schedule from 1988, one game at a time, and getting his recollection of that 88 championship season. So that starts this coming week on Tuesday. All right, when we come back, we will take an opportunity to give you a couple of notes to wrap things up, give away our Marshall Tucker Band tickets, and set you up for tomorrow's program. I have to remind you, though, about our partnership with the Make-A-Wish South Carolina group. Last week, we had Crystal Alafano in here, their publicity officer, and she was with us for the entire program as we announced the partnership between the show and Make-A-Wish South Carolina. Folks, there are many, many ways you can help. And they all start just by going to that website, sc.wish.org, and the donate section. And remember, yeah, it takes money. $7,500 is about the average cost to grant a wish for Make-A-Wish South Carolina. But there are other things you can do to help defray that cost, like donate your airline miles, host fundraisers. I mean, there are so many options. It all starts by visiting the sc.wish.org site and finding out how you can help, as it says right there on the screen, transform lives one wish at a time. I am so very excited about being involved with the Make-A-Wish and looking forward to seeing how this partnership grows over the course of the next year. Visit that website, though, sc.wish.org, and find out how you can partner with Make-A-Wish South Carolina. Just remember, they grant about one wish every 48 hours in this state. That's the good news. But when the fiscal year ends this week, and their fiscal year ends at the end of August, there will be a waiting list of some 200 kids who did not get their wishes granted this year, and that's simply because of finances. So let's see what we can do to help that alleviate, he said, that issue with this partnership. sc.wish.org for Make-A-Wish South Carolina. We'll come back and get ready to wrap it up. We'll give away those Marshall Tucker Band tickets. On the other side, this is the Dan Scott Show. Please, he said, do not go away.
When you go in search of a fence company, what's your criteria? Experience? Trust? A company that gets it right the first time and stands behind its work? Then your search is over. Faulkner Fence has been Greenville's fence company for more than 40 years. Ed Faulkner started the business, and now son Todd continues the tradition of excellence. So regardless of your fencing needs, commercial, industrial, or residential, trust the company that Greenville has trusted for over 4 decades. Faulkner Fence, 864-271-4626, or online at faulknerfencecompany.com.
Hey everybody, Dan Scott here, and I want to tell you about my technology partner, Carolina Creative Group. When my show needed a creative technology boost, I turned to Carolina Creative Group. My custom design website is going to take marketing as well as brand strategy and development to new levels. The search engine optimization means that my clients' ads will be seen by more people more often. And if I have any questions, Carolina Creative Group is just a phone call away. Friends, that is just the tip of the proverbial iceberg. You can find out all the ways that Carolina Creative Group can help your business by simply calling 864-250-2012. Again, that's 864-250-2012, or simply visit them online at carolinacreative.co. Carolina Creative Group, technology partner of the Dan Scott Show.
If you're looking for the perfect frame for that special photo or painting, Custom Corners Frame Shop in Seneca can deliver for you. Family owned for nearly 4 decades, Trevor and the folks at Custom Corners Frame Shop pride themselves on quality, presentation, and professionalism. They offer picture framing for every budget, and every job is custom. Custom Corners Frame Shop also sells work from local artists as well as locally themed gifts. For more information, visit them at 289 Market Street in Seneca. Call 864-882-7736 or find them on Facebook, Custom Corners Frame Shop in Seneca.
Hey everybody, Dan Scott. You know, I've been telling you for some time now that I switched the protection of my home and family to Security Complete. I can tell you that I've been ecstatic with the results. Locally owned with more than 40 years experience in the industry, Security Complete uses nothing but the latest technology, which equals low overhead, which equals greater savings to the customer. Fully automated systems with monitoring rates much lower than the competition. Security Complete gives you all this and does not require a contract of any length. Find out more by calling 864-546-0630 or find them on Facebook and Twitter. Security Complete, my first line of defense. Make them yours today.
For a child battling a critical illness, a wish come true can be a turning point. One song, one dance, one game, one moment changes everything. Make-A-Wish needs your support to grant more life-changing wishes. Visit Make-A-Wish online now. Together, we can transform lives, one wish at a time.
All right, we are back. It is the final segment of the program today. I'm Dan Scott. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed it. And again, folks, I can't reiterate enough how important it is for you to share the new website with people on your social media, thedanscottshow.com. We need to get people going out there and seeing what we have to offer, and we're looking for your feedback on this brand new website as well. So please, by all means, check it out and let us know about it, thedanscottshow.com. All right, it is time for us to announce the winner of the Marshall Tucker Band tickets. I've got them right here in my greedy, grubby little hand. Those are the Marshall Tucker Band tickets. That's for this Thursday, August 30th at the TD Stage, and that is, of course, at the Peace Center outdoors downtown. And without further ado, I don't have a drum roll. I probably could come up with one, but I don't. Anyway, the winner of the Marshall Tucker Band tickets is Scott Schaefer. Scott Schaefer, thank you for registering at thedanscottshow.com. And congratulations. I'll be contacting you via email, and we will figure out how to get you those tickets. Congratulations to Scott Schaefer, winner of the Marshall Tucker Band tickets from the Dan Scott Show. And thanks to Randy at Carolina Creative Group for providing all of the prizes that we've given away in these first 5 weeks of the website's existence. We'll take a little bit of a break from that and hopefully have some more coming up for you as we move forward. All right, so on the show tomorrow, we'll continue our SoCon football previews. We will also dial in on some of the other games that are taking place this weekend outside of the Southern Conference, and at some juncture we'll also be getting you back in contact here in studio with Furman soccer coaches Andrew Burr for the women and Doug Allison for the men. We're trying to do that on a weekly basis. Dave Glenn on Wednesday, Larry Williams from Tiger Illustrated on Thursday, and Friday, who knows what. We'll have all kinds of good stuff. Scott Keeler on Friday for sure to talk some high school football. Hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to being back with you again tomorrow, same time and same place. Until then, please have a great rest of your Monday. Again, do not forget, share the website, thedanscottshow.com, on all your social media. help people figure out that we're here. Help us spread the word, and we'll come back with you and be ready to do it all over again tomorrow. Until then, I'm Dan Scott saying God bless you, and so long, everybody.